photographed. And this is explosive information. This is probably the best UFO military filmed footage, certainly that I've ever seen, but I think also that the world has ever seen. The US Navy photographed and filmed pyramid-shaped UFOs, or commonly called UAPs now, and advanced transmedium vehicles. There were a number of anomalous contacts, or what they call UAPs or UFOs, that swarmed these carriers, that swarmed these destroyers, some of these stealth craft. So what you're seeing is some of what I obtained and released is some of that footage. These are 3 images that exclusively George Knapp at Mystery Wire released just prior to everything that I released. They represent 3 separate objects, or in the classified briefing to intelligence communities that was put out May 1st, 2020, for anybody that has access to those systems, these are represented in that intelligence briefing as 3 separate craft: the Acorn, the blimp with payload, or metallic blimp with payload. These are educational tools to teach, again, the intelligence community about this UFO presence here on planet Earth, flying with impunity in our restricted airspace. So these 3 photos represent unknowns, unidentifieds. A lot of people who are enlisted and on active deployment, they feel that they are not being properly prepared or briefed about how to handle these types of things in the future that could cause mid-air collisions, problems of misidentification that could in fact cause an aggressive attack. I can confirm to you, and it has been confirmed also by the Pentagon themselves, by a spokesperson, that these images that George Knapp released, as well as the 6 images and actual film footage that I released, that all of this is contained within these investigations by the UAP task force, and that these are unknowns, meaning they've already ruled out the typical things that you would expect, like balloons or basic drones from another country. A transmedium vehicle is a vehicle that can penetrate the barrier between, say, air and sea without destruction. And that's exactly what happened with what we see in these still images that I've released of this unknown, unidentified craft that was captured from the USS Omaha. That is an extraordinary piece of technology. Whoever is operating these technologies are far more advanced than anything we have in the US arsenal. And that should be a warning sign. We need to find out the intent of the operators of these vehicles, the scope and scale and variety of what you're seeing just in the releases from me and also from George Knapp, that this is just a drop in the bucket of kind of what has been going on with our deployments and within our restricted airspaces, and also around our nuclear facilities. Gravitationally propelled craft that are transmedium, and they can go from space to air to sea without destruction. This is astonishing capabilities. Additionally, they're able to disrupt our deployments, our electronics weapons systems. They've even documented, been able to turn on and off in multiple countries within the US, Russia, and China, nuclear weapons like Minuteman missiles. So this is more a display of power than it is a threat. They've been investigating UFOs. We were told they stopped in 1969 Project Blue Book. That was a lie. We now know they were and are investigating UFOs, are now UAPs. These are genuine unknowns. Questions are weapons, and we are asking questions now. The public is asking questions, and it is our government's job and their duty to answer us. And it is our right, and we actually have a need to know. What are these things in the sky that outpace, outmaneuver, and completely defy what we understand as propulsion? What are these things? We deserve some answers, whatever those may be. This is now a new reality that we are living in. And it doesn't matter if we bury our heads in the sand. It doesn't cease to exist.